I ran out to get a pack of cigarettes, but I left my wallet at home. Yeah, that's me. I'm getting old. My name is Sonny Featherland, an investigator for 20 years, and once the star of the predatory division of the Clawville Police Department, one half of the legendary Chicken Police. But buying a pack of smokes is more than I can handle right now. Maybe I should just lay low. Yeah, I'll do that. The most colorful place in the wilderness. For all the gods, what bullshit. The last clucking color left this city years ago. And slowly I'll turn gray too. Still, what do I expect? We're living in a vast experiment, and don't even notice that everything got clucked up a long time ago. We believe in this wonderland of peaceful coexistence. Wolves and sheep, chickens and hounds. Yeah, sure, why not? It's just ridiculous. The dog eats the chicken. It's in our nature. I'm not propping up the illusion anymore. 121 days, and it's over. Retirement. What could possibly go wrong? My office lock is a piece of shit if a dame can pick it. She stood in the darkness. The light painted stripes on her body. It whispered secret little things that were never there in the first place. But she was no zebra. Reality was just a light switch away. Elizabeth or Charlotte? I was sure she'd have a sophisticated-sounding name. She had a bygone look in her eyes, older than this ancient building, and perhaps the whole city itself. Or maybe I'm just drunk. But she was the first womanly thing in my place for a long time, so I had to give her a chance. I promised myself I'd write a novel one day. I can't even remember the last time I used this. Every whiskey has the same color nowadays, at least in this price range. I don't even know what these papers are. Who is this dame, anyway? And what the cluck is she doing in my apartment on New Year's Eve? You're mistaken, ma'am.
Oh, really? Please enlighten me.
I'm not a private eye. I'd recommend Mr. Philmar Lowe.
Believe me, Mr. Featherland, it's not an accident.
Look, miss,
Am I that easy to read?
That's my job. But tell me, since you've invited yourself in, would you...
I don't usually drink.
Well, I've got to have one. And it'd be rude of me to drink alone. So, maybe some sherry?
If you insist. But bourbon, please.
Thank the wild ones. That's all I have.
What a coincidence.
So come on, spill it from the beginning. Legs that go on for days. Deep, dark eyes. Silky skin and voice. You're in big trouble, pal. That's better. Now, if I understand correctly, your mistress is receiving threats. What kind of threats, exactly?
It's a very strange matter. First, there were letters. Then it came printed on a wine bottle's label, sent as a gift. Then carved into a brick, thrown through the window. And finally, they painted it on the wall of the house in giant red letters.
I think it's time to dig a little deeper. If you don't mind, I'd like to ask you some routine questions.
Please, that's why I'm here.
Books I'm never gonna read. Maybe nobody ever had. My wallet and my badge. The wallet is real. The badge ain't. Chief Bloodboil took mine. So I got this one out of a pack of cornflakes. Just in case. She doesn't seem so dangerous that I need to grab my gun, but you never know. My last cigarette. You're lucky I don't have a light, pal. I wanted to travel the world when I was a kid. But I think I'm gonna end up dead in here, whether I... don't even know where the key is. The good things in life don't last long.
So, this is the part where the interrogation comes, like in those detective movies.
Something like that, Deborah. Yes. Legs that go on. I must be cautious and smart. This dame seems shy, which I can use to my advantage. But I must be careful about what I say to her, or I could scare her off. Let's start gently, and when the time comes, we can go in hard. Who exactly are you, ma'am?
I'm not somebody important, Mr. Featherland.
You're important enough to deal with such a delicate matter, right?
I carry out the wishes of my employer, nothing more. This means simple paperwork, most of the time.
You've been thrown into deep water, sweetheart. Tell me, can you even swim?
Believe me, this is just as unpleasant for me as it is for you, if not even more.
Tell me, which part of the city do you live in? Calavera Hills? Flowerville, maybe?
Look, I don't want to answer that. I'm here on behalf of my employer, and not on personal business.
Fair point, Deborah. Let's try a different approach. Why did you have to visit me this particular evening?
I have my reasons. I may look like a silly little fawn, and maybe I am, but I still have common sense.
I don't doubt that for a second, Miss Ibanez.
This day is essential to my mistress, and she thought it's also important to you.
A message in itself, for sure. But to be honest, even you are.
You know what? I'll just take that as a compliment, even if it wasn't meant as such.
Why did you come to visit me? Why not your employer herself?
My employer is Miss Natasha Katsenko. She hasn't been leaving her home lately, only if she really has to.
How so?
Miss Natasha is afraid. She's scared because of those unwanted messages, and everyone knows who she is.
So she's that kind of woman.
I don't know what you mean.
Of course you do, Deborah. Thank you, by the way. We're finally getting somewhere. We avoided the point long enough. Deborah's hiding something, no question. Let's focus on that. How did you get this address?
You know, my mistress has exceptional connections.
If they were so exceptional, she wouldn't have chosen me.
Don't be so hard on yourself, Detective. You are the head of the famous chicken police, am I right?
Was it a raccoon with a scarred face called Zip who recommended me? He hates me.
No, Mr. Featherland. I don't know anyone like that.
Lucky for you, Deborah. I'm sure it's not intentional, but, are you toying with me?
I'm not sure I understand you, Mr. Featherland.
Cut the crap, Deborah. You're a pretty smart girl, and you can't hide that no matter how hard you try. But ever since we've been talking, I couldn't force one single straight answer out of you. I'm starting to think I'm terrible at what I do.
I'm sorry, Mr. Featherland, you're right. I'll try to be more straightforward next time.
I appreciate that, ma'am. Are you in some sort of jam?
Nothing of the sort. There are simply things better left unsaid.
Then you're wasting my time.
I trust your instincts. You'll manage it.
Yeah, and I have no other choice, right?
To be honest, no, Mr. Featherland. Not really.
Don't you think this whole thing is a little suspicious?
Look, Santino, I'll explain everything.
I have no doubt about that. You look just the type, sweetheart. No offense.
I'll take that as a compliment. Or maybe I'll act like I haven't heard it.
You see, we're starting to understand each other. Tell me, Deborah, why should I believe you at all?
Because my mistress trusts you.
Should that be enough?
If you really like what she thinks you are, then yes.
Damn, what can I say to that?
Look, I didn't mean to back you up against the wall.
You have a way with words, sweetheart. Did you ever want to be a cop?
No, not for the world.
Smart answer. Be honest and tell me what you're so afraid of.
You know, Mr. Featherland, my mistress's partner is Hobart Wessler. Or as most people know him,
Ibn Wessler, the Kingpin.
Exactly.
Feathery gods, help me.
So you get it now. The secrecy.
To put it mildly, I think I understand it all. Wessler. This little piece of the puzzle changes everything. Why don't you take it to the police? Just go there and file a report. Photos, flashing lights, fingerprints, you know the drill. The evidence is very clear. Even a moderately talented detective could easily wrap this case up. Or just try the phone. 555-111.
Please, take a look at this.
Well, okay. Let's see. Legs that go on.
Don't you want to look at it? The message I gave you.
Yeah, of course, Deborah. Give me a second.
I know Molly very well. Please note this when deciding whether or not to accept my assignment. Miss Ibanez is a trusted friend. Treat her as gentleman. N.
I felt like I'd been hit on the back of my head with a blackjack. Reality tilted. Molly. Good gods. What was her name doing there? I glanced at the opposite wall with the well-worn picture frames. Like an eternally dark hole in the wall. A missing piece. She was wearing a light silk dress and singing a lullaby. The waves caressing her beautiful long legs. Why Molly? Why now?
Mr. Featherland? Santino, are you all right?
What the hell is this supposed to mean?
I don't know anything, Mr. Santino. My mistress told me to give this to you. She said you'd understand. Don't you?
Oh, of course I understand, Miss Ibanez. Very well. But this case is becoming more and more confusing. It's starting to look like blackmail.
Blackmail?
Don't play innocent with me.
But...
All right. When can I visit?
Visit? Me?
Not you. Miss Katsenko.
Oh, yes. You can find her at the Tsar Club.
Didn't you tell me she's not the social kind? That she's especially unsociable? Or does she only like loud and crowded clubs?
No, she's really not.
Judging by the flyer, it must be a very busy club, especially on New Year's Eve, right?
I'm sure you'll have no trouble finding Miss Katsenko.
Let me guess. Mr. Wessler better not know about my visit.
Exactly.
20 years experience, ma'am. Oh, and please...
It was a pleasure to meet you, Mr.
I'll talk about the rest with Ms. Katsenko in person. A good friend...
I'd appreciate that, Sonny.
Behind that door...
Thank you again, Mr. Feather...
Don't mention it, Deborah.
I'm sorry, I don't smoke.
Thought so. Just a phone call, and a good friend of mine can take you home.
Thank you.
Just a phone call.
Thank you.
Just a phone call and a good...
Thank you.
Legs that... Hey, Lewis. Am I bothering you?
No. Of course not, Sonny. Old friend, what's up?
Could you come over? I've got a favor to ask if you're not busy.
For you, anything. Just a minute.
Lewis arrived a few minutes later. He lived in the rooms above, so it wasn't difficult getting here, not to mention that he's a rabbit. It was a quick hop. The Atlas Hotel was his inheritance. It was once a well-renowned place, but not anymore. The last economic crisis ruined it, and now, besides me, he was the only resident of this enormous place. Could I ask you a few more questions, Deborah? Thanks for being so quick, Lewis. Can you drive Miss Ibanez home? I have some things to take care of.
Of course, Sonny. You know, anything for you.
Thank you for being so
Don't mention it.
Goodbye, then.
So long, Deborah. Before I visit the club, I have to take a detour. I've got a feeling that this case isn't going to be a one-man job. And there's only one bird in this city I can trust. My ex-partner, Marty. He's going to be at the station. I can only hope he'll be willing to talk to me. Oh, just one more thing.
Yes, Sonny?
I don't want to sound indiscreet, but this fur removal craze. Do you do this yourself, or are there specific parlors for it?
Well... Would you like to try it?
Well, it wouldn't work as well with my feathers. Just professional curiosity. You know, it's, yeah.
Occupational
That's,
You're one strange...
Well, I've been called worse. Why do I have the feeling?
Sonny, I've already told you what I know.
You really?
I'm not sure I get what you mean.
Let me give you some advice, sister. Leave.
It's not so...
Is she really?
I would do more...